Hi Gemini, welcome to your powerful messages from the Veil reading. This is your girl Mermaid Scales Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me here. This is a general reading for the Sun, Moon, Rising Venus, and or any other strong placement for the sign of Gemini. This is a general reading, so please keep that in mind, to only take what resonates with you and leave what doesn't for someone who really needs to hear this message. So guys, this is my most favorite time of the year. Halloween's my favorite holiday, not even just Halloween. It's like this whole week and a half where the energy is very powerful because the veil is very, very thin. I wanted to take this opportunity to connect with this powerful energy at this time, and not only is it usually just very powerful, we're also under the influence of the new moon in Scorpio. So yeah, I am just very excited to connect with your spirit team to ask them what you need to hear right now. And this could impact any aspect of your life: love and romance, career and finances, spiritual evolution. But whatever spirit would like to talk about shall be said. So I got a little dressed up for you guys. I'm very excited to do this. I hope you are too. Let's go ahead and get this started. I'm first going to use my sound bowl here to clear, set the energy, and do a mini meditation with you guys. But if you just want to jump right on into the card pool to see what the cards have to say, check out the pinned comment below with all the timestamps. For those of you here with me now, thank you so much for joining me. It really does help me connect to your energy by doing this. So I'm going to ask everyone to take a deep breath in, and I'm going to ring the sound bowl 3 times, and during that time I just want you to open up your energy to ask the questions you have for your spirit team. And if there is anyone, any being that you would like to call into this reading, angels, ancestors, spirit guides, passed down loved ones, spiritual deities, you are more than welcome to use this time now to connect with those energies. So let's go ahead and take a deep breath in. And tune into the energy of Gemini. Wow, a lot of visions for you, Gemini. So the first thing I saw was like a circle, and it just kept kind of moving. And then I heard that, like childhood rhyme of like a circle is round, it has no ends. And then finished like, that's how long I want to be your friend. But like, I feel there's something that has always been pretty consistent in your life. There's something that it feels like part of your purpose, but it almost was like this is just one of your purposes. It doesn't feel like this is the only purpose you have. And some of you guys have always kind of, I don't know, either felt strongly about it this whole time and that's why it feels so consistent, or even it comes kind of like in and out of your life. And maybe it's a wave right now with the veil being so thin that this purpose is making itself aware to you right now, Gemini. And then it turned into the part of fortune sign. So part of fortune is in our natal charts, and it's usually like what we're blessed with, what we're going to be gifted in for this lifetime. So I really suggest looking up your part of fortune in your natal chart. You may have to use a specific free natal chart to kind of make sure it shows you the part of fortune and where that is in your house, because I feel with that under whatever sign it's under and what house it's in, you're supposed to be kind of exploring that a bit more, kind of really getting to know that area where you have that part of fortune, because I feel like it's unfinished business with your destiny. And then I saw like a flower bursting through the soil and coming into full bloom really, really fast. So I wonder if there's something, manifesting in the 3D for you that's helping you with this purpose, or it's just like finally breaking through, like a breakthrough is what I feel here. So I wonder if there's even going to be like Wheel of Fortune energy coming into your reading, or some of you could have strong Sagittarius or Pisces in your chart. Does not have to be the case. I'm really curious to see what this is all about and see if it connects with the cards here. It could just be a message for a few of you, but let's go ahead and see what the cards have to say. So, the spirit team of Gemini, tell me what you want Gemini to know right now, to hear right now. That could give them clarity, insight, healing, and guidance in regards to their life. Oh, 2 cards. Let's see. First, we have love, number 1. And it says, Aphrodite, I call to thee to bring a true love here to me. So I wonder if some of you guys work with Aphrodite, or you may have very strong Venus in your chart, whether that's in your natal chart or your progress chart, which I would look up and see where Venus currently is, under what sign it is, because it does change as we get older. But yeah, I feel for some of you guys, there is a soulmate here. And I wonder if some of you guys are wanting to connect with that soulmate that you haven't met yet, or a reconnection with the soulmate that you've always felt very, very deep love for, deep, you know, bond with, but it was hard to always keep it going for whatever reason. I'm seeing the letter A as in Alexis, as in Alan, first, middle, last initial can mean something to someone. Okay, tell me more. And then we have Glamour, number 15. Ooh, Gemini, I like this. It says, into this mirror, I now see the realms of possibility. You guys are powerful manifestors, and maybe that's part of the purpose that Spirit wants you to understand. And I know manifestation can get kind of confusing, especially with all the different ideas that we have out there in the spiritual community. You know, I think people get confused by the fact like, oh, I must not be a powerful manifestor because everything I ever wanted, obviously it's not here 100% of the time. It's not about that. It's about connecting with your power of your will, connecting with the power of your belief in yourself, and knowing what will be yours and what is meant for you shall be, you know, in a time frame that's perfect, in the time frame that's right, and to trust that. And I feel, Gemini, you're gaining more trust in that. And I think part of you guys have really understood the art of surrender, which is a difficult thing to practice and a difficult thing to implement. But with this glamour energy, I think you guys are starting to connect with your natural attraction abilities. Some of you, I wonder if you're changing up your look, have changed up your look, or you feel the need that you want to give a change, especially if you feel like you've had the same style, hairstyle, whatever for such a long time. I think that will help kind of like shed some older skin of like what you were before to kind of dive deeper into this new idea of yourself. But yeah, I think you guys are really kind of connecting to the power of your will, as far as saying, you know what, it will happen. I feel it. I know it. Therefore, I'm just going to let it happen. I can kind of, you know, take responsibility and accountability for what I do have control over, but everything else will fall into the right place because I know I can make it happen. There's a fire burning in you. And I think, you know, this glamour and love combination energy, you know, the third eye is going to be very open for you at this time, or has been very, very open, where I think you guys are getting very vivid dreams, daydreams. I think you guys are seeing a lot more confirmations and synchronicities about a certain love interest in your life that is becoming so apparent. But I think you have a very strong hold on this person, Gemini. And although this person has tried to fight it or resist it, I think they're kind of realizing they really can't do it. And others of you where you haven't met this person yet, I think you guys are going to be shook by, at first, their physical attractiveness, and they'll be shook by yours. It's like, you know, enchanting. It's eye-capturing at the first moment. Like both of you feel something on an energetic level that is hard to kind of describe, and is not usually felt with a random person walking down the street. I think you guys are, from the first moment you meet, you're going to have like a very strong attraction to one another, that even if it's just a simple conversation, that conversation lingers for days after. Wow. You will be on each other's mind a lot. And it's just like the mysteriousness behind it. I don't know. Let's get deeper into this. Tell me more for Gemini. Tell me more about what this means for Gemini, what Gemini Spirit Team wants Gemini to know at this time. Sorry, we have the garbage truck outside coming in, but we have Spirit with initiation. Yes. So Spirit is helping with this breakthrough. Spirit is helping you open your third eye. Spirit is helping you, like, and third eye is not just even about, you know, connecting to the spiritual realms, in my opinion. It's kind of also on the other side of the coin, connecting with a deeper sense of things, like reading in between the lines and taking the time to kind of not just take everything at surface value, but try intuitively to dissect and figure out the deeper meaning of it. And I feel that's what you guys will be doing or are doing. And it's a complicated process. It's not easy, right? Because our logical mind wants to rely on everything we see, feel, touch, and that could only be the fact. But I think you have a gut feeling right now about someone or about, you know, something that you love to do. If this is not about romance, 80% of you, I feel like it is. So I'm just going to go with that. But again, take it as it resonates and change it around if you need to. But there's a deeper thing that Spirit is bringing into your awareness, and the passion and the love that's coming from it is becoming stronger and stronger as time goes on, as, you know, this connection builds strongly between the two of you. I do see someone with a spiritual tattoo. I do see someone that got a tattoo that has a deeper spiritual meaning that a lot of people don't understand first until they have to ask the person. I don't know if this is you or the person that's your soulmate here. But yeah, I think your bond at the essence of it is powerful in a spiritual sense, even more so than the physical attraction. It's deep. You know, it's almost giving me similar vibes to the Aquarius reading. So if you have strong Aquarius in your chart, or if you're dealing with an Aquarius, I suggest checking out the Aquarius reading to see if there's messages for you there. But let's go ahead and get the tarot to see what the tarot has to say. Tell me more about your messages for Gemini. First, we have the Knight of Pentacles. So this took some time, Virgo energy. I do feel like, though, Gemini, you have been more selective with what you want to focus on, with what you feel is right for your energy, your, you know, input of energy. And I think maybe this is why it's taken a bit for this to come completely flourished, you know. It would be easy to just say, you know what, I'll just find, you know, the next person that walks down the street and see if we have a connection there, but that's not your type. And I wonder if you guys have strong, like, Virgo rising or Virgo moon even. But yeah, I think you guys have been very careful about what you're focusing on and what you want to pursue. And I think, like, you want to find someone that's real, down to earth, not just into, you know, the flattery of flirting and, you know, hooking up, but you just want a deeper meaning to that connection. And you want someone that would be willing to go into those depths with you, that you find harder to kind of meet. And maybe that's, again, you're on a different frequency than most people, especially with the powerful glamour energy and the Spirit card we have here, that you find it hard maybe to find someone that's, I'm not going to say worthy connecting to, because that sounds a little, you know, snobby, and I don't mean it that way, but finds, you know, that it's worth to kind of put it all out there the way you would once you know you found that right person. Yeah, okay, tell me more. And, you know, you have expectations that you want to see in the other person that you're not willing to compromise. And that takes time to find the right person. But I think by, you know, giving yourself that time and being selective has kind of, you know, made the selection process a lot more, or at least what you're telling Spirit, this is what I'm looking for, this is what I want to have, is a lot more clear than just throwing anything out there. You're single and you've been single, but you're not desperate. Yeah, and then we have the Three of Wands. Here we go, Aries energy. So manifestations are coming in. Your ships are coming on the horizon. And I do feel like if you haven't been experiencing this yet, very, very soon you will. I do feel by the end of the year, you will see these ships coming in abundantly. And I do feel like, you know, I'm looking at this little skeleton bird depicted in it, and it's like holding a book. Like, I feel there's a message that you've been waiting on, or maybe like the first initiate contact, they're going to reach out to you first, want to hang out, want to set up a date. But yeah, I think that this is something that is going to excite you. It's not going to be like, oh, I don't know, we'll see how this goes. Like, I think after you meet this person, or at least start to talk to this person, if it is online at first, like, you develop a deep excitement about this and a deep want for this. Tell me more. Okay, then we have the Hanged Man. Pisces energy. Bottom of the deck, we have the Seven of Cups, Scorpio energy. So yeah, there's a lot of activations, especially in your third eye, especially in your heart, that may feel overwhelming, and especially because this hasn't, I think, happened for you, Gemini, in quite some time. And maybe, again, you are either wanting to focus on finding the right person, or you had other priorities of wanting to kind of, pursue first before letting this in. But I do feel the soulmate was destined for you. And I think some of you guys, for the timeline of how long it's been since you've had a connection, or how long it's taken for someone to come back, or whatever it is, it's kind of, when it happens, it's a little overwhelming. And I think with the Seven of Cups and with Spirit's connection that you have, that's very powerful right now. Spirit wants you to dive deep into, all the feelings you're feeling, because I think it's giving you a message about, your readiness. I think it's giving you a message about maybe your vulnerability. But also, there's 7 cups. It's not just the lower emotions. I think, again, the excitement you get from seeing their text message, or the excitement you get when you see that they want to pursue something with you, that's something also to pay attention to. But, a lot's coming through right now, and maybe even you're making someone quite emotional right now, Gemini. They're going through an influx of emotions around this, especially with the Hangman. If this is something that has been, up in the air for quite some time, I think, by their own doing, I see that with the Hangman. It's something where I think they're trying to explore what all this means, and all the different possibilities, and what they can kind of rely on that's more of the truth than the illusion of, this is fake, or Gemini's not for me, or this can't be real, because I see very, very real connection here. And I think someone has a choice to make very soon through, everything they feel. And I think feeling it out is the best way to go about this. I don't say that often. Even though I'm a water sign, I think, I have an Aquarius moon, so I'm very logical, analytical, but I think right now the feelings behind this is something that Spirit wants you to pay attention to the most. You'll know it's right, Gemini. I feel that's the message I need to deliver to you about this situation, about this person, the right timing of it all. You'll get the gut feeling that you usually get with this strong connection to Spirit you have. So tell me more about the Knight of Pentacles. Let's clarify these. Okay, the Seven of Swords, Aquarius energy. Yeah, there has been some avoidance, and I think there's been some, Gemini, I think some people who are not your soulmate have felt like rejected by you, have felt, hurt by you, maybe because you're not really good with like ripping off the Band-Aid, so you kind of leave quietly, silently, and I think there's some resonance of those people's upsetness or hurtness over the fact you didn't pursue them that may still be within your psyche, that I would pay attention to, or at least cleanse a bit if you do kind of feel that resonant energy around you. The Queen of Pentacles with the Three of Wands, yep. And then the Hanged Man, clarified by the Hanged Man. Goodness, okay. Bottom of the deck, we have the Moon, yeah. A very strong spiritual, psychic time for you. And I think part of what's starting to surface is the fears maybe around, the feelings that are starting to come up within someone. And I think through the Moon card here, it's almost as if now that it's here, right? Like maybe now that this person's reaching out, or now that you've met someone that has really caught your interest, it's like, this could go anywhere. This could go, I would warn against, although you can definitely have it as, this could definitely happen. I would warn against, playing into the worst possible situation. Some of you have strong Pisces in your chart, and Pisces has that very good talent, but I'm a Pisces rising, so no hate here, but sometimes Pisces tends to get a little bit lost in the imagination of what could than what is. And I think whether this is you, Gemini, or the person I'm connecting with is kind of right now in the fear of what could be. because of these powerful emotions that are starting to take place, or the overwhelming spiritual messages, strong pulls to you is what's making someone feel a bit overwhelmed. So, you know, I would just kind of say that this is something where I feel this has to surface for someone, because it's something that I think if it doesn't surface and if it's not addressed, it could definitely prolong the process of how this is supposed to unfold. But the Hanged Man coming out twice here, to me, is a strong indicator that someone is coming out of a long-held perspective that they're growing out of, that things, because everything is shifting within them, now it's finally reaching their consciousness, and that was kind of the last step. It's hard to explain, but me, who I've even gone through a lot of spiritual awakenings, some things kind of take a while for the consciousness to fully warm up to everything that you're feeling, to trust it, to go with it, to just not have to put reason behind it. And I think whoever is very strongly in this Hanged Man energy that either has been resisting or has not been open to kind of seeing their own ideas of love and romance, or of what they feel like they love to do, or want to follow on their feelings and emotions behind it, is kind of the one that is feeling the most overwhelmed, but is also needing to go through this process in order to shed. And I think this is Hanged Man time is all going to lead to a major breakthrough once they get it, once that consciousness really hits them, and once they have that gut feeling to make the right choice. But yeah, I think this process is needed to go through first before anything else can happen and unfold. But with the Three of Wands and the Queen of Pentacles here, Gemini, you gotta know it will happen. You will have what you want. Again, like natural manifester abilities. And I think another thing that I like to point out about the spiritual community and communicating, you know, manifestation, Spirit will not give us something that, even if we don't see at the moment, but in the long run is going to lead to our downfall. Whether it plays into our lower vices, whether it plays into our ego, or, you know, it's just not going to benefit us the way at the moment we think it is. It's Spirit will not hand that to us most of the time, unless, you know, that's the only thing you're obsessed with working towards, and Spirit will say, okay, here's a karmic lesson. I thought we went over this, but let's give it to them. You're on a different vibe. I think you guys are so spiritually connected, or with what you've been through in past lives. I think you know the importance of, you know, knowing what is best for you. What is going to make you feel fulfilled? What is going to make you feel appreciated? What is going to mean all the hard work? Because you're hardworking. The Queen of Pentacles would not come up if you didn't meet your wants, wills with action, with, you know, applying the work. And I think Spirit has seen that you have been applying the work, whether that is spiritually, whether that is, you know, making the initiative to be more open to, you know, finding the right people, or, you know, allowing things to just surrender and flow the way it needs to, and at the same time doing what you can either to distract yourself or to help yourself in a different way while that's on pause. Spirit sees all that you've been doing here, and you've been doing a damn good job with the Queen of Pentacles. So don't sell yourself short, Gemini. If you feel like, you know, something's not happening because of lack, that's not true at all. You have plenty. You have plenty to give. You have plenty to share. You have plenty that anyone would really want. And I think there's a discovery within that, within yourself. That's not cockiness, but it's a certainty that I will have it because I am good enough. Wow. So then the Knight of Pentacles and the Seven of Swords, right? Aquarius energy, Virgo energy. Yeah, I think for some time you've been a little bit... Now, okay, let me clarify. If you have still been looking for that soulmate, you don't know, haven't met them yet, then yeah, I think your selectiveness has rubbed some people the wrong way. And again, I think it's because they don't understand that you're not just looking for something that's fleeting or, you know, mildly entertaining for a temperate time. You know when it hits. And if it doesn't hit that way, I don't think you waste your time. And I think some people struggle with the fact that then you kind of just come out of their life because it doesn't feel right and the vibes are off. And I think some people have called you a ghoster or called you whatever. And I think that's out of the hurt from, you know, you not kind of giving them the resolution they wanted. Now, others of you if this is the person that you know is your soulmate, you've had a long history with, it's been rough at trying to pursue this. They were avoidant of their own realization here that any type of partnership or connection is going to take time. It's going to take effort. It's not going to be, and I don't think they think this way per se, but like one-sided. It's not just going to be as easy as yes and no. Like there's deep developments with deep tests that show us if, we are meant to be together through how we respond, how we react. And I think this person thought love and romance connection was supposed to be a lot simpler than that. And maybe even knowing how much work it was going to take at the time when you really wanted this, they weren't ready. So they may have kind of, crept out of your life or went ghost. And I think if that is the case for a lot of you guys, they're going through serious hangman energy right now to realize, the mistake they made and how important you still are because of the fact of how strongly you still linger in their energy. Whew. Okay, it's deep. I feel it. Let's go ahead and pull some more cards to dive deeper into this. Wow. Okay, so first we have let your past go. And this is all this yellow here. I wonder if some of you are wearing yellow. Yellow is your favorite color or a color. But it's giving me very strong solar plexus energy, which is your self-confidence, your self-esteem, your power, your will that I've been talking about this whole reading, especially with the manifestor abilities. Now let's read what it has to say. The burden of carting around your past has made you weary, dear one. It's time to set this burden down. Keep only the lessons and the love and leave everything else behind. You don't want it or need it, and now it's gone. Okay, so for those of you where maybe, again, you thought you may have met your soulmate, but then it didn't turn out, so you know for a fact you still have that soulmate out there. I don't feel like you still have feelings for an ex, but I think like the trial and error and the hope and the disappointment is still what's kind of lingering in someone's energy. I feel like for those of you that haven't met your soulmate, that's what is lingering within you, is the disappointment, is, the fighting, that one day, when is it ever going to happen energy, because it hasn't happened before. Spirit really wants you to look at this in a brand new clean slate. And, maybe some of you guys, this is not for everyone, but I'm feeling a message out here that like, maybe you made mistakes in love and romance that you're afraid there is some sort of meaning behind what you did as to that defines who you are. What example could I use for that? If you kind of realize that you were giving someone a chance, but realize that you weren't fully in love with them the way that they were in love with you. And you didn't know really how best to handle this. So some of you may have just like broken it off a little bit, what you thought was okay, but they took very harshly. Like you may have, like, for example, broke someone's heart unintentionally. And maybe, you've always felt guilty about that. But I think for those of you where that kind of resonates, or a similar situation to whatever this is I'm picking up on, a past version of yourself and what you did in the past was the best that you could have done with what you knew. And I think you don't need to harbor any of, guilt or shame around that anymore. Now, others of you, if this is the person you're connected to, I think there's an old version of themselves Spirit wants them to like climb out of, which is maybe why, again, we have the Hanged Man twice here so strongly. There's an old version of themselves they're desperately trying to hold on to. I don't know why. It gives them security. It gives them confidence. I don't know why. But Spirit is saying this has to go, or else you're going to miss your chance at being with the person that you have the strongest connection with by far and will have the strongest connection with ever by far. So I feel there's like a need for this realization with the double Hanged Man here of someone needing to kind of come out of that old version of themselves because it's holding them back, and it's the only thing holding them back. Tell me more of what Gemini needs to hear right now. Tell me more of what Gemini needs to hear right now, Spirit. Hope. Number 27. Wow. So yeah, I think with this hope card here, some of you guys, through either your will, your powerful intuitive abilities, which I feel a lot of you are gifted with, or just the fact that, you know, maybe someone's slowly but surely coming back, taking a step by step, hope is being regained within this situation or within this part of your life. A lot of you love and romance with a specific someone or someone to come in. I think Spirit is definitely giving you the encouragement of to still have hope here, despite, you know, the rough trail you've been in. You're almost out of the woods, Gemini, in this situation. And it's been kind of enduring. It's been long. It's been a little bit emotionally overwhelming, as we saw with the 7 of Cups. You know, there are 2 sevens here. I'm realizing some of your birthdays could be June 7th, June 17th, or May 27th. Life path 7 could be your life path number. You're seeing a lot of 7s, right? But that is trusting your inner knowing, despite, you know, everything else that's showing currently. There is something meant to unfold. There is something meant to happen. And that is part of the vision I saw with, you know, that destiny type of feeling that something is going to happen for you, period. And so I think that hope here is something that you can rely on, you can tap into, and you can trust with it unfolding in the right way. Wow. Tell me more of what Gemini needs to hear. Warrior, nice. Be fearless and stand strong. Okay, so for those of you that have yet to meet this person, I think that this is like the final stretch, especially some of you that have been disappointment, worn down by, you know, hurt, rejection, heartbreak, or what you felt you've done that you could have done differently in the past. Like, this path you're meant to go on for this specific reason is not one for the lighthearted. I mean, to find true love, you have to be evolved. You know, I've been with my partner for 14 years, which sounds crazy now, saying it aloud. But, man, have we been through it. It was not easy all the time. And some people have this idea of love and romance, like, unless it's perfect, there's something wrong where either I have to sabotage it or they're going to sabotage it. And it creates this, you know, distrust, resentment, hurt that a lot of people don't make it through. But Gemini, I feel for you guys that haven't met this person. Like, this is a long fight, but it's worth the fight for this. It's worth to still have hope. It's worth to still be strong and to carry on with all the lessons you've learned are ones that have applied to you on a deeper level of, you know, discernment of how you wanted to do better, how you wanted to learn more about yourself. Those lessons have made you all the more powerful. And people view you as a strong, powerful energy too. And maybe for some of you where it's like, well, why didn't it work out? I think there was intimidation around you. Now, those of you where you know who this is, they could have, you know, always been very stubborn, hard-headed. They're fighters, which means, like, you know, they could have had a veteran background. They could do, you know, mixed martial arts. They could, you know, just be the type that pushes through, carries on. And with that energy, I feel like they've always felt they had to fight their fights alone, which could be the hangman energy, right? Like, I have to do this on my own. I can't rely on someone else. They could have had a childhood associated with that, or they just, you know, have always had that deep independence within themselves. But I think with the warrior card too, there's another side of them coming out of realizing, like, maybe there's some inner demons I need to face, fight, or at least be aware of that is making me not see the truth of things. And I think through the hanged man energy someone's going through, it is a battle, but a battle that's meant to be won. And I think with the help of someone's intuition, the help of their spirit team, they're going to be able to see this more clearly should they allow their feelings and their visions and their deeper inner poles that are tugging at you, Gemini, to just take control. Wow. And that's what someone's currently going through as well. All right, Gemini, let's go ahead and get one more card for you guys and see if there's anything else I can tell you. And with this deck, it's a blessing card. So I want to see what blessing your spirit team, your ancestors, angels want to give you and what this means. So number 38 with a blessing on growing older. Okay, so generally with this all connecting to each other, some of you, if this is not romance, I'll just give this quick spill, but you're never too old to pursue what you love to do. I know society makes us feel like we have limitations, and of course there's some things we can't deny, that once we get older we can't, you know, run 10 miles in a half an hour. That's just something, and some can, you know, but you get what I'm saying. There's some maybe physical limitations. However, with whatever this destiny is and what is meant to be a part of your life, and that part of fortune energy I was feeling in the meditation, that is still meant to happen no matter what age you're at. So again, I highly encourage someone to look into their part of fortune energies, the sign it's under, the house it's in, to kind of explore that purpose deeper. Now for romance, for those who have not met the soulmate yet, yeah, it's been a long journey, and some of you guys have felt like you've just gotten older, and can it be as potent? Am I still ready? Like, did I miss my chance? No, you did not. And that's what Spirit is saying, that even everything you've been through is making you all the more attractive. And some of you, again, with glamour here too, like, even if you're an age where you don't feel as attractive as you did once a long time ago, you still very much are, okay? I think people would be surprised to hear your age. People would be surprised to feel how youthful you are, even with the age you have. So, you know, I'm hearing that Aaliyah song, age ain't nothing but a number. I know there's, you know, murkiness behind that, but it's just a saying I think some of you guys with this present energy need to hear about yourselves if you have that insecurity within you. Now, those of you where this is a person you know is your soulmate, there could be an age difference between the two of you. Another thing, it could just be like they are realizing through this hangman energy that they've been at this way of living for far too long, and there are some things that change with getting older and having more experience that I think they didn't allow themselves to kind of accept. And maybe someone was going through like a midlife crisis type of energy. Someone was feeling like, oh, there's so much more I have to do before I hit that age. But I think they're more ready for this than what their ego would allow them to be. And the fact that they try to like hold this off or not, you know, accept this at the time they needed to, is something that they're finally doing now. So it took time, but the time is well worth it, Gemini. So thank you guys so much for joining me here for this reading. I really hope it resonated with you. I hope it's given you the clarity, insight, healing, and guidance in regards to what your spirit team wanted you to hear at this time. And if it resonated with you, please let me know. Drop a comment below, hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe. I love you, Gemini, very much, and I'll see you next time. Take care, Gemini.